Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Walkthrough Wednesday. Yes, I haven't changed my top. It is a week later. I'm recording this straight after I've recorded the pitch tutorial, I guess. It was just something I wanted to show you guys because I use it every day, and I think if you aren't using it, you're kind of causing yourself a disservice. So today is all about build-ups, as you can tell by the title. It's just all the things I like to do. I haven't planned this. I'm just going to try and go through, approach this as if it was part of a track of my own. Let me just get this drop over here so we can actually have a drop to go into. So yeah, what I want to show you is my little build-up techniques. Actually, it is linked to a question from one of the boys on Patreon. Just I'll edit this out. So let me see. Andy G asks maybe various techniques to add energy and tension to build up. So for me, adding energy to me is basically filling the spectrum up. So if you've got a weak sub bass in your drop, you're gonna lack energy. If you have dull drop leads, like really lacking highs, you're gonna lack some energy, right? If you look at all the big named producer tracks, Quintino, Bassjackers, Hardwell, the whole spectrum is full. You know, you've got sick low end, you've got really nice highs. So it's important to like keep that momentum in the build up as well. So I hear quite a lot of tracks actually without any sub bass in the build up. Like, it's not a scientific fact you need to have sub bass in the build up, but I love to do it. So this is what we have so far. This is what we did last time. I just showed you guys how to pitch every single drop layer, lead layer, with one automation, so it saves you a lot of time. So we have this, right? What we need to do, I'll turn this down actually because I don't think my voice is going to be as loud as this. So filtering up the drop lead is just a given, right? Step one, always tease your drop lead. Yes, you can catch the listener off guard with a drop, but I'd like to tease the listener with the drop lead, especially if it's a catchy big room melody like this, because these catchy melodies, you want the crowd to like sing along to it and stuff. So allowing them like a few seconds before to actually learn it is just a cool little thing, I think, and it does like prepare them for what's to come. I hope I can delete this. Go on. Go on. Yes. So anyway, we're going to filter up the lead, right? But this is where a lot of you guys will stop. Okay, we filtered up the lead. No. For me, I want this transition to be as smooth as possible. And the way I do that is with the trick that I've been using probably for the longest time. This is the trick I've been using for forever. So what I like to do is take Endless Smile, which is just a reverb. Take any reverb you want. So if my filter comes up, I always put my Endless Smile going down, right? It creates a really smooth transition because filtering up like this sounds way too dry. Please ignore that. But with this, it just creates even more atmosphere. Maybe not that much. And what you can even do is bring it up towards this part. Which creates a nice little tail as well. What I would like to do with that tail is turn off the sidechain. That's how you get that big reverb, W&W reverb tail in their drops. So it goes like this. And then a vocal shout which normally says drop, right? So that's something already. We've got a little bit of energy. I like the transition with this. Massive tip. We're going to use Endless Smile basically later on as well. I use Endless Smile a lot in my build-ups. My build-ups will be dead without Endless Smile. Such a handy little tool, so go and grab it if you haven't already. We're going to grab a build-up snare just because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to make one. Shout out to Kura, by the way. He released his new sample pack and it has some sick build-ups in there. Let's take this one. This is definitely a tip as well. He's got a rolling snare in here. Most build-ups you hear just a snare. But if you have a rolling snare in there as well, as you can see, he's got 808 snares. So have the 808s like rattling as well. It just adds more energy again. It's just really filling up all the spaces in the mix and filling up the spectrum as well. I don't like the way it actually builds up actually for our track. I want it to be more like this. Wonder if I've got a vocal which says go. This one will do. Let's put it in the right. Yep, it's perfect. Anyway, this is for later on. So right now we've got a snare and we've got our lead. Most people would just add risers and that's it. But for me, I like to add a sub bass in here. So let's find a sub. What I like to use for build-ups is actually respaces. So there's a nice standard respace Inspire, the Kung Fu. This is just a standard patch. So you want to take the key of your drop, and what you're going to do is just draw out the sub bass like this long, so it's going to cover the whole build up. See the difference already, right? We're now starting to fill the low end of the low end spectrum a little bit now. So we're going to put this on a different mixer track. What I like to do is put stereo imager, make it mono. We don't want it to clash with. We don't want it to take the stereo field. You just do not want that. Might boost the sub a little bit around 60 Hz and the bass around 100 Hz. Bit fat there. As I said in the last tutorial, I go 12 up, 12 down always when I'm pitching. It's the same for sub basses as well. Now I don't pitch the whole way. I like to tease the melody here and then pitch everything together, right? So we're going to pitch the exact same way, pitching up the whole build up whilst the lead is playing as well. It's just confusing, man, because as you're pitching up, you're going through different notes which obviously aren't in the scale, so it's going to sound a little bit off, right? So this is what we have. Now with the snares, they get thinner and lose low end. They're kind of EQ'd in a way where the low end gets taken away. So what we're going to do is exactly the same thing. So we're going to do this automation. Right click on this and just draw it up like that, and you will see what happens. And you will hear what happens. We can actually take away even more low end. So basically all this does, it removes low end slightly more and more as it gets towards the pre-drop. I like to take away all the low end and actually a bit of volume and a bit of stereo presence, so that when the drop comes in with all this sick fat low end and crazy stereo imaging, crazy wideness, sorry, that it has even more of an